Welcome to the Scrapyard. I'm your host.
What the heck?
You know what? I don't got time for this right now. Here. Chipotle burrito. Get your ass up.
Chipotle burrito? What? What's going on? Oh, hey, look what I found!
There it is.
Dude, this is the sacred burrito! How dare you!
Anyways, hi everybody. Welcome to the Scrapyard. I'm your host, BC.
Flaming bees!
Inktastic.
Acer.
And as you can tell, this is Ace's first time on the show. So let's go ahead and give him a big warm welcome.
I genuinely don't know what to expect.
Oh, trust me, no one ever does.
No.
What's going
I
on,
do.
people from the Scrapyard? What up, Daniel?
Hello, Daniel.
All right, so first things first, as much as this is going to pain us, we got to do it.
Hey,
We got to do it.
gotta
We
be fair.
got to
do
show
it.
that they're not 100% biased. That's literally what this is.
It ain't perfect, but we gotta give credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
First time.
Yeah.
it did do some things right.
Yeah, it did do some
Yeah.
things right, and we will talk about them. I'll try not to crash out.
Keyword.
And obviously, for those who have been eagerly and patiently awaiting for when we actually go to do this, it's time for what is going to be the toughest scrap battle for me to pick a winner for.
Oh.
Oh, this one's going to be tough. So with all that said, everybody, I think we're good to start moving into everything. But before we move into anything, it's a figure appreciation of the week.
My favorite segment.
And as per usual on my show, well, this is how it normally goes. Newbie goes first. Hi.
So this is gonna probably surprise BC and Ink based off of the conversation on stream last night, but
No.
Animated Optimus.
Okay.
Like, despite the like
Hey,
I
hey.
said, I had my one nitpick, but like this has me genuinely excited for more animated, and it makes me really happy that animated's getting the love that it is.
I
Like,
recommend the DNA design kit.
It's an awesome figure as a whole.
I love that figure.
like it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like the figure
like
as well.
it is such a good figure.
It's stylized in some ways, but it's like it still captures the spirit of the character.
Yeah, it doesn't stray too far from animated.
Mhm.
All right, Ink, you're up.
All right, figure appreciation. Just pretend I have the figure on camera, which is not on. Blocky's Mixmaster.
Oh,
In all,
oh.
Very nice.
yeah, in all honesty, this used to be one of my least favorite figures from the line, but I don't know what it is. It just kind of grew on me every time the more I mess with it. And thanks to the mixing and matching parts, you can actually just like change the look of this guy. So what I did was switch the green joints with the purple colors, and it just looks so much better. And I think he'd be fine if he was the way he is, but regardless, he still looks pretty good. Gave him a gun because he just looks lame with that weird radar dish that he came with.
Yeah, I after experiencing, I think 2 of them now, where I had the bigger ones of the robot.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, part of me is now tempted to. Yeah, part of me is very tempted to now go after them.
Go under that rabbit hole.
My figure appreciation, Marvel Legends, PS5, Spider-Man 2, I think? Venom.
Spider-Man 2, yes.
That looks awesome.
That's a wicked in person.
Okay,
I was
here's
not
a 6-inch figure.
Wow.
He's massive, dude. Oh my god.
It's gonna give you that 19 inches of Venom.
Oh
Like-
my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
Okay, guys, let him talk.
Anyway, I'm not gonna lie. This is a contender for the top 5 figures for the year. It just really does it for me. I mean, there's some Marvel Legends Venom figures that are really good. Like, we're gonna pretend the Hyperion body mold one, it doesn't exist because that one's pure ass. But the Omega Red body, the one that utilizes the Omega Red body mold, that's a solid mold to use. The movie Venom figure, that one's a pretty good one too. That one has the height going for it, and that mold has been used like once or twice before. This, it's a brand spanking new mold, and the only other Venom figure to have butterfly joints is the one that uses the Omega Red body mold, and this brand new mold comes with the default closed mouth head, the one with the hentai tongue,
Oh my
the
That's a way to describe that.
the tendril attachments, 2 closed
Time to
fit,
perform.
and somewhere he has like some drool effects for the opening mouth for the hentai.
You mean the tongue?
Oh, here it is. Here's the cum.
Oh,
Make her regret that shit in seconds. Hello, everybody.
fine class beanie. Perfect choice.
Yes, perfect choice every time. So, anyways, hi guys, how you doing? So, my figure appreciation of the week. It's honestly a toy that for a while I was super harsh on him, and when I got rid of him, I was satisfied for a while. But then things changed. So when I got him again, I was still a little lukewarm on him. But this is a toy that I'm going to specify how much this dude has grown on me since reacquiring him. To the point where he has grown to be one of my favorite toys in my collection as of right now. My figure
Oh.
appreciation of the week is Earthrise, Skylinks.
Ooh.
That looks awesome.
Such a fun figure. I love the fact that he can do almost everything the original toy does. And just at the same time, he's not forced to be a combiner torso. Hi, CW.
Why CW?
The repaint wars.
The Reaping War. I really am wow,
I never got to experience the Combiner Wars, stuff like that, and I'm kind of glad I never got to.
I only had Onslaught, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can count Power of the Primes as Combiner Wars 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Before we go off on any more tangents, time to get into the topic at hand, and this is us giving Bayverse its due. Now, we're going to go ahead and at least attempt to keep this down to at least 30 minutes. Can we have another Acer crash out today? Probably not. Probably not.
Maybe not.
Well-
It depends.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Yep. But yeah, no, anyways, so we try to keep the topic within 30 minutes. So basically, as soon as it hits 39, we're going to go ahead and cut it off. So what are some things that the Bayverse genuinely did right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get this one out of the way right now. The only thing TLK did right, Bachman.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah, dude, I love Cogman. Like he was,
Bachman is bar none the best thing TLK could ever give us. He was such a funny character. I love seeing him on
I think-
screen.
Cogman was like the only reason I could keep watching that movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the one that makes this movie bearable.
He's like the violent psychopath, but it's like, goddamn, we love him. He's so funny.
Yeah, his figure is actually really
Oh
cool.
yeah,
I
Arguably,
never got to
of the
experience that.
TLK toy line, he bar none had the best toy.
I never found him at retail, like
Oh,
ever.
me neither.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
Luckily,
And
luckily, Hasbro like, hey, for a Studio Series figure, let's just reissue his TLK mainline figure. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Reissue him,
saw-
but with better paint.
like I saw the mainline release for this guy, but I think that was whenever I was still getting back into Transformers and was just kind of like, I don't know what I want to collect. And I passed on the original release and I regretted it. And then they released this and I was very happy to pick
I
it up.
love that
It's
silver
so
yeah,
paint.
it gave you a second chance at him. So yeah, that's one thing that I definitely felt was needed to be said. So, Bees. One good thing about the Bayverse.
I feel like it had either gained new fans or revived people's interest in the franchise.
It did do that.
Like for me, I grew up with the Beast Wars series. I was strictly Beast Wars. I didn't care about anything else. But when this movie came out, when the 07 movie came out, I loved it. And then learning like about all the lore behind like all the various like franchises, like Transformers franchises, that's what got me to watch the G1 cartoon. Don't get sniped by Hasbro.
Wait, what are you talking about getting stabbed by him?
BC.
Can we make sure his
Dead?
dog is fed?
Yeah, come on. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, upon learning like a lot of like all the many references, excuse me, from like in the movie, the first movie alone, that got me interested in watching the original cartoon. So I started watching that, and like from there, that's a rabbit hole I went even further down. And this shelf back here, all G1. The shelf next to it, Bayformer toy line figures. Now you can't see it really well from over here. These are all my Studio Series figures. I love just about anything Transformers now. I've watched like from there. Eventually, it went from just watching the G1 cartoon to rewatching Beast Wars and Beast Machines, and then I watched animated, and then the Unicron trilogy, which that was an endeavor that didn't happen until like 2-3 years ago, but still. And yeah, like every other Transformers cartoon that I've watched, and it's created. And then I also feel like it breathed new life into the franchise too, because like I said, it had like renewed a lot of people's interest in the franchise. It brought in new fans. I feel like we all have our own first or our introduction to the franchise. BC's intro was Robots in Disguise 2001. Mine was Beast Wars. I feel like a lot of people's first show that got them into the franchise would be Michael Bay's Transformers 2007 film. And people can shit on it as much as you want, but honestly, I feel like if you like the Bayformers films, great. We don't all have to like the same things. I mean, I personally like it. I mean, there's some movies that are better than others. There's some movies that we shouldn't talk about, and we shouldn't bring it up by name, Revenge of the Fallen. And yeah, like and I got to give Revenge of the Fallen credit where credit is due. It has made some clever references to other cartoons. And then there's the brawl fight, which you got to admit, this BC's favorite scene from the whole movie. The only thing he likes about the movie, and honestly,
The fucking forest battle.
That forest battle was so good.
Fight scene the Bayverse has ever given us I will be taking no questions.
It's such
Like-
a good fight scene.
I mean, honestly, I have to agree. It's just like I that's like one of the best and most intense fight scenes of like the live action films. And yeah, like when the first movie came out, I didn't have a whole lot of spending money at the time, so I was only able to get like 2 figures. I had the premium edition or premium series of Voyager class Ironhide figure. Because the tab on the windshield, the peg hole on the windshield broke, because that's what happens with clear plastic. And I still have, in fact, it's right over here.
Oh, the original 07 Optimus.
Yep, him in all of his backpacky glory. This thing was like, God, I had so much fun with this figure.
All right, let's go ahead and let Ink say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I've put my passion get in the way, so I was gonna cut it off there.
What did the Bayverse do right? This one, I guess maybe a simple one, but like the soundtrack and the score,
Oh,
yeah,
oh my God, the soundtrack.
it's so iconic. The arrival to Earth.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da-da. Like, it's timeless. I can just like go back and just revisit those musics. That's pretty much it I got.
All right. Well, I'd say largely the ancillary media, like the games, like not directly connected to the movies, but like the games that came out of the Bayverse, phenomenal. At least the 07 DS game.
I take your whatever that word you said is,
Ancillary?
ancillary media, and raise you another character. And if anybody knows me, you already know where I'm going with this. I'm going back one movie. Let's talk about my boy Hound real quick.
Yes.
This
I love
parts of Age of Extinction.
fuck is bar none one of the best characters we've ever had in the entire Bayverse.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Hound is
To the point
that's
where it was
true.
literally having me and Rabuko screaming at the end of the movie, "Ironhide, eat your heart out." Like, there was never a single dull moment with him on screen. Every single time he pops up, he has something waiting to say. He always is doing something, and it's either you're sitting there going, or you're cackling. It's one or the other, never anything in between. He is a genuinely awesome character.
He's a giant robot ballerina.
I'm a fat ballerina.
They went hard
He's
with
so
that
funny.
fight scene, just him taking down the KSI drones. That was awesome.
Or that he looked at Megatron and just point blank tried shooting at him like, come get some, you little bitch. Get over here.
Hey, Bridge!
Give me 1 second.
See, now Daniel makes a very solid point, and I was going to bring this up, but I decided against it, mainly because a lot of people so desperately wanted it to be Bulkhead. And I do understand why.
There we go.
I do. But the way I see it, you can, if you feel better calling him Bulkhead, call him Bulkhead. Me personally, I can barely give 2 shits.
I mean, we all renamed Wheeljack Pablo for Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't, but
Or some people refer to Wheeljack and Dark of the Moon as Q, like me.
So anyway, Frick, the topic at hand that we are doing is giving the Bayverse its dues. So, if you could be so kind, what's one good thing that the Bayverse did in your opinion?
Well, what's something that hasn't been said already?
You already know for a fact the forest fight was already brought up.
Is that the only thing that's been brought up?
No.
No, like
I brought up Cogman and Hound. B's brought up a bunch of stuff. But his main point was the slew of not only new fans, but revived fans. Ink brought up the soundtrack.
Oh,
and
that's definitely
Victor
something
brought
I
up
would have brought up.
ancillary media.
I definitely would have brought up the soundtrack for sure.
Oh, I actually got another one.
Let Brooks talk.
All right.
Well, I'm still thinking. So I'm trying to think of something that's like unique to say that hasn't been said already. I don't want to repeat points. I mean, I guess one topic that definitely is something to it's not really so for the movies, but more so the toy designers. I think they did an admirable job at tackling translating those designs into toy form. Like they were given an impossible feat, and they managed to still accomplish it in some capacity.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you that. That's
That's
something. That's something that we as a fan base tend to really overlook, especially since for the longest time my favorite toy line was Revenge of the Fallen. Good God, those toys are amazing to me.
I love Revenge of the Fallen.
A lot of them still stand up to today's standards. For some of them, even.
I mean, yeah. I could definitely
like that.
now.
I was going to say like that leader class Starscream.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could definitely argue, especially now, with how simple everything has gotten over the years. I won't lie. Simpler transformations are just easier to digest. I'll openly admit that. That said, Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, I was one of the very few that when I got him, when I busted him out of the box, I flipped him to truck mode. For the very first time, no instructions, no videos. If there's anybody here who understands this toys, genuine fucking caliber of just the engineering marvel he is, it should be me. And this is going to lead into my next point.
Excuse me. What I miss?
It's funny. It's funny. I was just about to
Excuse
burp
me.
as well, but you did it over mine.
Okay. So,
Funny.
my next point, the memories the Bayverse has managed to create.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I have told this story before, and I never will not tell it. The lengths my mother went to secure me this. This is the only toy from my old collection that I still have. This is the only Bayverse toy that I still have. And I will never get rid of it. This
That's
was
so
a
cool.
statement to how much my mother cared about my hobby. I love this toy. And there will never come a time where I don't love it. It's just that simple. I wish I wish he was in better shape. I do. But he's not like super broken. He still flips and folds. Fine, no problem. Ratchets are still nice and tight. He still sings. Batteries are dead, unfortunately, but you know, like every time I look at this toy, I'm reminded. Well, other than of a really kind of crappy movie, but I'm reminded of that Christmas morning, and that never would have happened if we never had the Bayverse.
Yeah, I guess the only other points I really can make that are unique is kind of jumping off of that a little bit, like the memories. The Bay films, like many people, was what introduced me to Transformers in the first place, but it was technically through my dad. My dad watched the original 1980s series when he was younger, and so when we saw that the new live action film was coming out, he was all like, "Oh my gosh, it's Transformers. I grew up watching Transformers." And he was like, "I should show you Transformers." And he went and took me to the movie theater and I saw the live action film. I don't remember entirely what happened during that experience, but I just remember walking out and being like absolutely stunned by just how much I really loved the concept of cars and vehicles turning into robots. And then just the years following after that, I was so excited about Transformers that I was just hungry for so much content. So like I started watching the 80s cartoon, I started watching Beast Wars, I was watching the Unicron trilogy. Like I was just absolutely consuming as much Transformers media as I possibly could until the next Bay film came out. And again, just those memories of getting the toys and all those Christmas mornings and just those, just those memories of being a fresh Transformers fan as a young child. And again, I think also on top of that, I also was learning like all the different characters and the lore and all. Like I was just very hungry for anything Transformers at the time, and I thought it was really cool that the Bay films also did a very admirable attempt, not once but twice, at taking obscure characters from the Transformers mythos and turning them into mainstream villains, specifically the Fallen and Lockdown.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Fallen wasn't a perfect movie, but it was a decent interpretation of the Fallen.
So, Ink, you had something?
The F-22 jets fighting Starscream.
That was honestly a 16.
Yeah, that was cool.
Now, I've got one more. And I don't know if it was the same for you guys, if you did have this experience. So by a show of hands, who did get to an early premiere of the 07 movie?
I never got to.
Never.
Me neither. I didn't get to see it until like later on in the month of July of 07.
Correct?
Nah, the only film I ever got an early screening of for the first time in my life was Age of Extinction.
Same.
So my uncle is the main reason why I am as knowledgeable about the stuff as I am. Although some would argue that my knowledge has beyond surpassed his. So there are things I know about this franchise that he never knew about. But that's besides the point. So he would take me to every single movie early. It did not matter what day it came out. It did not matter what the plans were. So long as we knew there was a movie coming out that day, we went the day before. So, a day before showing of 07, I cannot begin to tell you guys, there is nothing that makes you feel seen when you are a Transformers nerd, sitting in that seat, basically bouncing out of sheer excitement just to see these guys on screen for the first time. Just sitting there bouncing in your seat. That alley scene when Prime pulls up and he starts transforming in front of them. The way the camera is panning all around him as he's going into his robot mode, detail after detail after detail. I shit you guys not. When he finally leaned in to talk to them, that scene alone got a standing fucking ovation. People lost their fucking minds at that. And that just having that memory alone is one of the main reasons that really convinced me that maybe it is time to give the Bayverse its due.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, other moments in movie history that have gotten a standing ovation was in Avengers Endgame when Captain America finally says, "Avengers Assemble."
And no, we're not
It's
counting
I imagine
counting Chicken Jockey.
Oh my
I
god.
wasn't going to because
Please don't.
that's not an ovation. That's Gen Alpha gone wild. Anyway, yeah, like I feel like what I'm getting at is I feel like the standing ovation that Optimus Prime, like that scene got, would be comparable to Avengers Assemble.
All right. We got 7 minutes. Does anybody else want to bring anything up?
I feel like they did a lot of the toys in the live action films. I want to say like Age of Extinction. That's when the overall feel, complexity, and quality just started to change, deteriorate even. Yeah. Now, when I learned of this is the premium series version of Voyager Megatron. I did not like the default colors for it. I was like, hey, look, hypothermia Megatron. So when I saw the premium edition colors, I'm like, ooh, that looks way better. I found this at a local comic book shop for like $40. Still in the box.
Dang, bees, that's pretty cold.
So yeah, I was like, ooh, shut up and take my money. And then, like, I learned of the existence of I think it was a Target exclusive 2-pack with Final Battle Jazz. Excuse me. The ice effects work very well being repurposed for flames. So I had to get this. I had to get that 2-pack when I saw it on Mercari. Like, ooh, yeah, I think I really need that. I need that. So yeah, like there's some figures from the line that are just absolutely freaking amazing. Some of them may not be the most articulated, like Studio Series, but they're still really freaking cool. Like, gosh, and this is like a purchase I'd made like about 2 years ago. I finally got my hands on the premium series version of Leader Class Megatron. That is such a fun toy. Is the jet mode aerodynamic? By no means is it. No, it's not. It is not. But given what their limitations for toy engineering at the time, I still can appreciate what they were trying to do. Then Revenge of the Fallen's toy line, yeah, it went from here to here. Yeah, I mean, Leader Class, Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, that is by far the best movie Optimus Prime toy we will ever get, at least for the Leader Class scale. And I'm annoyed at the fact that it took me so damn long to, start getting all the figures that I wanted from the line. There's still some that I missed, but I'm so damn lucky. I was able to find Leader Class ROTF Mega Optimus Prime when I did. It was literally May of 2010. And the only Leader Class figures you can find anywhere, Megatron and Jetfire. I was able to find them on clearance pretty easy, $30 each. I found that Optimus Prime at a Kmart for $25.
Dang.
Wow.
You deserve a veteran's discount if you remember Kmart.
I'm old. So yeah, like I feel like what the movie toy line did was they introduced some interesting and new concepts for toys, Transformers toys, and gimmicks. That heck, Automorph, the Automorph gimmick, is it necessary? No. But is it cool? Yes. There's some animated figures that have like some of the like Automorph features, right? Lugnut. Like when you transform in the cockpit, splits in half for the robot mode. That was an Automorph gimmick that was from the live action toy line. So that's another thing that I'm getting at. The live action movies have benefited in the long run, or at least for as long as like gimmicks were concerned. They've like benefited later Transformers toys. And when it came to like engineering, yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, the Optimus Prime figure that I just showed off a bit ago, the Voyager class one, with the Beast Wars figures, it took a little bit of time. I was like, I don't need instructions, I can figure this out. I was able to figure those out. But with that one, I was like, my best friend was telling me, I'd look at the instructions if I were you. I'm like, nah, I got this. And eventually I wound up with a jumbled mess of robot and vehicle parts. Like, help.
2 minutes.
Okay. So, yeah, like they've introduced new ideas and concepts for toy lines, like the engineering, gimmicks, transformation schemes. They've created new molds that I don't know if any of them are still used, but like they're at least up until like Revenge of the Fallen storyline they've used.
All right, I'll be right back real quick. I'm gonna go get a drink.
What's up?
Can we let somebody else speak?
Yeah. My apologies.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a dick, I swear. Just let's give everybody else a chance to talk.
Anybody else got something?
No, I'm all good.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring something up. And this is going to be the final thing to kind of end this off. Well, for me, the Bayverse, another major thing that I really do need to give some serious credit towards, shooting locations. Some of the actual angles that a lot of the film was shot, simply gorgeous. Especially when you get to Dark of the Moon, where the bulk of that movie was filmed in Chicago. Take a wild guess why that one speaks to me. Your boy is from Chicago. So with that stated, the shoot location is definitely one thing that we do need to really give its due. And with that, we're going to bring the topic of discussion to a close. You know, I had a sister in Chicago. Hey, guess what, motherfucker? I was in Chicago. I saw what happened to her. It was horrifying.
You share no sympathy for me.
My face is my warrant.
So worrying.
Punch his face.
Did your face just squeak? This is what your butt's off. All right, so now we're going into the random middle section. What is the random middle section going to be this time around? Is it going to be more BC hot takes, or is it going to be something we all actually want to discuss for a couple minutes?
Let's discuss something.
Okay, so what all do we want to discuss?
Unless you want to use this as a scrapyard topic in the future, our stance on knockoffs.
That is actually going to be a future Scrapyard episode topic.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, there's a lot of meat on that bone that we really do need to.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Quite a
that
few
can-
episodes just to get through it. So then, how about this? I'm going to use this episode as a little bit of a check-in. How is everybody's top 5 of the year coming along? We already know Bean has one pretty much already locked in. It's
2
just
actually.
on his list.
2 actually.
Mm,
I got 2 so far.
yeah,
Rex?
I have a couple.
Okay, so I have not fully decided yet, and also keep in mind, I'm not allowing HasLab Omega Prime.
Jay!
FYI, that is not what my second figure in the top 5 is.
Whatever your figures are, you cannot at all, even if you don't put him in number 1, you cannot choose HasLab Omega Prime.
Rick, are you breaking the rules?
Okay, I'm
Peter.
specifically specifying Scrapyard top 5.
Okay, who's gonna go first then?
Mm,
We're not doing that right now. I'm just
Yeah.
asking how's everybody's list coming along right now.
Oh, well, mine's definitely coming along. I already have over 5 in mind on the list.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I'm kind of getting there myself. We're gonna see. Top 5 figures that you got in the year of 2025. And again, this is an episode that we are not doing until sometime in December or January of 2026.
Yeah,
So,
one thing I want to say real quick is that for me, how I'm compiling my list right now is that I would much rather wait until closer to the end of the year before finalizing my list, because I want to just lock it. Okay, right now I've got these 5 figures here, and then I end up changing my mind. Once I get another figure, and that's just blow my mind or just blow me away, and then I'd have to rethink the list. So I think it's just best to wait. But those 2 figures that I mentioned, yeah, those are, as of right now, without a shadow of a doubt, contenders.
okay, so then let me explain something. So the way the top 5 works is obviously throughout the year, you kind of keep some figures in mind. You keep in mind specific things with specific figures that have either impressed you, or you didn't see it coming, or you've been really excited about it, and when you got it, it beyond exceeded your expectations. These are all things you keep in mind, but when, say, November comes around, that's when the clock is ticking where you need to finalize that list. That's normally the sweet spot where things start to slow down, where we're not really getting stuff in as quickly. So now we got plenty of time to kind of slow down, relax, and actually think about everything that we got this year, and then pick 5 from that. That said, I'm glad to see that some people are actually putting some effort into this, and it makes me happy to see that. That said, so far I've only got 1 figure on my list, and that's bad for me. That's really, really bad. So I'm hoping things change in the future, and that things are going to be better. But yeah, I got
Well,
so
of
much.
course, things are going to change because they're Transformers.
Who the fuck said that?
Wasn't me.
I didn't
Not
say
me.
anything.
Bricks.
Saying nothing.
By the way, everybody, guess who? Guess who?
You already know it.
Everybody, Acer. Before we start, Acer, this dude has been an adamant watcher of the show. So every single time he pops up in our comment section, we put our fists in the air and we chant BBS.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can get that homeboy. It's false. Somebody help me get him the link.
False.
We're gonna get this boy in if he can come in.
Wait, who?
False.
False.
Convoy.
He's in comment section now.
False convoy.
All right, I'm on it.
It is indeed a false. False. You gave me false hope.
Oh,
Wait, what happened?
he's at work.
He's at work.
Oh, at
Oh,
least he said hi to us.
At least he said it. Bastard.
Get to
Anyway,
see him.
so, so I'm hoping and praying that the rest of 2025 is going to be a lot kinder to me, and that I'm going to get some genuinely amazing figures in. Well, okay. I kind of lied. I might have two. It all depends. All right. So, anyways, with all this, is there anything else we want to bring up, or can we take this as a prime opportunity to move into scrap battle?
Just make sure for all you gamers, don't game on a MacBook Air.
You could fry an egg on that MacBook.
The CPU is crying for death. Please stop.
and most of all, remember, licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets.
Who are you making fight today? Who are you? You should know. You were the one that was there.
I got
And
one.
I announced it. It's them. Lyle Convoy versus Animated Prime. Like, my boy, you were there.
I got one before we move on to the battle.
Go ahead.
Invincible. What is like one critique you can make about it?
Mark needs to be left the fuck alone. They're done.
Makes sense.
The title is false advertising.
He gets his ass beat frequently.
He's not
Yes.
invincible.
He's not insert title card.
So to anyone who hasn't started reading the Skybound comics, do so. I finished the first volume today. So good. It's so
I
good.
am completely caught up.
So
I have the first volume of the comics. My best friend had bought it for me. I was like, oh, hey, thank you. And because, God, if only I could bring books into work, I'd totally be reading that. But unfortunately, you can't.
Can't win them all.
the Skybound comics, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I cannot wait for issue 21, dude. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I've been enjoying. There hasn't been another comic series in a long time that has made me highly anticipate and build up each individual issue as if it's me anticipating like an episode of a show.
Yeah.
I haven't had a comic series that's made me had that feeling in a while.
Yeah, no, like y'all don't understand. I have my book. I have my books right here. So as actual physical proof that people can tell I ain't BSing. Volumes 1, 2, and 3. Issues 19 and 20.
Taking it one step further, I actually went out and managed to obtain the free comic book day issue.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And then, of course, I have everything else as well. And also, I've been reading Void Rivals, and Void Rivals has been getting very Cybertronian lore heavy recently.
Look, I'm just reading those Transformer stuff, all right? I don't need any of this other stuff.
Beanie.
Well, all right, so I think that's a point where we can start moving into Scrap Battle.
Excuse me.
Who pulled the Woody? Who pulled the Woody?
I thought the same thing. It's like, Woody's back on here?
Look at the bed.
Jeez, dude.
Look at the bed.
Eat the bean.
Yeah, bean.
You bean.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a beanie. Tell me why ain't nothing but a beanie boy. Tell me why I never wanna hear him say he is the beanie boy.
Hey, guys. And the beanie boy.
That never gets old.
No,
You know,
man,
it also, you know,
Anyways.
also never gets old.
But
Hey, how about you go do the dishes? Go do the dishes.
Go do the
oh, on that note, this is part of my vernacular now. Instead of just simply saying "what the hell," I just say "what the hell."
What the hell?
The only language that you speak is failure.
Failure.
Well, go do the dishes.
Go do the dishes.
Say
Oh,
his
you
shit.
chicken.
So much.
Oh my god, what the hell?
I will send you to Jesus. Oh, BC, can I have this one?
Why?
Kamehameha! Hey, boy!
You were only supposed to hit him, not kill him.
Kamehameha, how about you
my
shut
power.
up?
And
All right, I'll go collect his belongings.
No.
speaking of, hey Bricks,
Huh?
you still owe me.
Oh, you for what?
January.
Oh no!
Oh, I
Oh,
forgot
no.
about that.
January.
Oh no!
Oh,
What are you talking about?
So BC had to go through a month without beating Briximus to death.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
no,
talking
no, no.
about that?
The actual challenge.
still
the
on that?
The actual challenge was I was not allowed to hit anybody on Scrapyard.
Oh yeah.
I was not allowed to lay my hands on anybody on my show for a solid month. But every time somebody chose to test my patience to see if I would lose, I was allowed to hit them. And Bricks, oh, how he tested me.
I think I
Everyone-
accumulated what,
I'm
like
trying to test it,
13?
and yet every joke that I made was always used against me. But I was like, fuck it, do it for the fun. And so BC and I came up with something behind the scenes instead of just like a full-on long ass onslaught. I was to just. He was supposed to knock me dead, and every few minutes or so, I'm trying to get back up and hey, what's going on? And he just, and that's when the whole dead ass bees thing debuted. I didn't even tell him this. I was this was something I planned. So I was as I was dead, I turned my camera off, turned off my microphone and everything, and then while nobody was noticing, I changed my. Well, I ended up having to dip out because. For some reason, I had to in order to do this. But when I came back, I changed my name from Flaming Bees to Deadass Bees, and I used a photo that I cropped from when Dreamer's son had committed a hit and run with his Paw Patrol car. So BC was like, "What the hell? Deadass Bees?"
I just lost it. It was funny as hell. Anyways, so I think we've messed around enough. Let's go ahead and get into it. Scrap battle: Lyle Convoy versus animated Optimus Prime. Now this time I'm going to give everyone an option.
Excuse me.
I'm going to give everybody an option here. For this fight specifically, does it only end if one opponent dies? Or will we settle for a knockout?
Well, they're both primes, and they don't necessarily aim to actually kill.
That's not gonna matter for here in Scrap Battle because we did Star Saber versus Armada Optimus Prime, and Star Saber killed the shit out of him.
Oh, well,
Fatality.
Same for this time specifically. I think in the spirit of both characters, I'd say knockout.
Yeah, knockout's acceptable,
makes sense.
given the way both characters are.
Yeah, I second that.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and get into it. So here is how Scrap Battle is going to work. There are. Hold on. I'm doing math in my head. There are 6 segments: endurance, strength, speed, armor, weapons, battle intelligence, final verdict. Final verdict is where we decide who actually will win. And once again, y'all have no idea how much this one is going to hurt for me to do. And especially if when all the statistics stack up, if I have to ultimately say Animated Prime would win, it would kill me. But to prove that I'm not a biased bitch, Woody, I would gladly take the loss on the chick.
The chin solos.
Does Animated Optimus get his jetpack and Magnus hammer, and can Lyle Convoy go flash mode?
Ooh.
So here is where I'm going to be very clear for this debate. I will allow the jetpack and the Magnus hammer. I will also allow Flash Lyle Convoy. What I will not allow, however, is oh god, what was the name of it? The green version of Lyle Convoy. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name of it right now. That one I will not allow, with the strict reasoning of he cannot reach that form without help. Although technically he really can't enter Flash without help. That's besides the point.
No outside
Point
help.
is, I'm not allowing outside help, but I will at least allow the Flash Lyle Convoy form to make an appearance here. Will it matter ultimately at the end? I'm going to be real, probably not. Because the way I see it, if I were to 100% allow him, if I were to allow both characters at their maximum strength, see, this is why it's tough. This is why it's really tough. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. And we're going to start with Endurance. I'm telling y'all right now, as the Beast Wars second, basically, when it comes to Endurance, Lyle Convoy has it in the bag. Flat out, Lyle Convoy has it in the bag. Now, granted, Animated Prime has taken some serious punishment. But every time he gets into a really, really bad fight, where he's getting his ass beat, you can see chinks and dings in his armor. Lyle Convoy threw hands with a literal fucking combiner. He threw hands with him. And he barely walked away unscathed. But when you got one look at him, he was squeaky fucking clean the whole fight. He was throwing hands. So yeah, no. When it comes to Endurance, I'm sorry, it's a wash. Lyle Convoy takes it. Now, I'm going to do Strength and Speed at the same time this time, mainly because I want to try and speed that one up a little bit more. So let's talk overall feats of Strength for both of them. And for those who actually genuinely do remember most of their feats of Strength, help me out here. That what the hell? Fresh, why are you in here twice?
Yeah, is there?
I'm taking a picture of that.
One of them is an imposter. We have a fake here.
Oh, you foiled my plan.
What, you trying to jump me?
Gonna get you from both sides.
There's two of them.
This
But
is
yeah,
getting
so,
out of
no,
hand.
seriously.
Now
So
there are two of them.
So for the sake of making this a little bit easier and to kind of try and speed it up, Strength and Speed for Lyle Convoy and Animated Prime. So when it comes to overall physical strength, I'm not gonna lie, I'm willing to tie them both out.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that tracks.
However, when it comes to speed,
I would give it to Lyle Convoy.
okay, why would you give it to Lyle Convoy? I just want to hear this out.
A, in his beast form, he's a lot quicker and more agile than a truck mode would be. Second of all, in his robot mode, he'd still be able to keep up with Prime even with the jetpack on. He doesn't require one in order to keep up with him.
Okay, so then how about this? So for strength, we tie them out. But speed, just straight up, we're giving it to Lyle Convoy.
Yes.
I will never argue with this. Oh, God, this one is so tough for me to do. I don't want to side with him so hard, but it's so tough not to. Oh, my God. Now, if we're talking armor and weapons, like Falk brought up, if we're talking with the jet armor and the Magnus hammer, I'm sorry, when it comes to armor and weapons, Animated takes it. Animated will take armor and weapons. So, and the main reason why I say that is because while, yes, technically speaking, Lyle Convoy has a lot more actual, like, combat moves, like actual attacks, they're mainly just attacks. They're really not weapons that he has access to.
Right.
Whereas animated Optimus Prime, we have literal things all over his body that he can use as weapons.
Like
He's got the grapplers. He's got the boosters from the jetpack. He's got the axe. He's got, like, especially if we really want to get technical, he's got arm-mounted water guns.
I mean, but technically, Lio Convoy also has a lot of built-in features as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is most of his built-in features, if we're actually going off of what we see on the show, they're less weapons and more just straight-up moves that he has.
yeah,
Like, for
this
instance,
this guy's basically a Swiss Army knife.
for instance, the Lio Typhoon Arrow, that is an attack where he literally aims the fucking lion head at somebody and the mane opens up. It's not something he could just wax off of his shoulder and then aim it like a gun. That's what I'm getting. So with that said, fuck, this is tough. Like, I really do want to. I'm trying not to make it seem as if it's going to be a wash. Because I know, like, okay, I'm going to stand 10 toes down and say endurance for sure is going to Lio Convoy.
He has anime main character type endurance.
Yeah, it's pure. Like, honestly, some of the shit he can survive is pure bullshit. But that's besides the point. The point is, part of me wants to go back to that strength feat and try to argue it a little bit harder. No, not strength. The speed feat. Part of me wants to go back to that. Wait, no, strength was the one they tied out, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
strength. We
Okay,
tied
yeah,
out.
that's the one we're going to need to go back to for a
Lio
second.
Convoy.
Yeah, no, speed we're giving the Lio Convoy bar none. I don't like. Okay, all right. Let's be. We're gonna go back to the strength one real quick because I don't want this to be super one-sided, especially if we're one-siding it towards my favorite character. That doesn't feel right to me.
Devastator.
So with that stated, let's genuinely talk their strength feats. Like I previously stated, Lio Convoy threw hands with a fucking combiner. But in the same vein, you could argue in animated universe, Megatron had the strength of a combiner, and Prime threw hands with him.
Yes, but Prime had also previously lost to him a couple times. Where Lio Convoy never really lost any fights. I mean, like when Megatron first showed up, when he first got rebuilt and revived at the season finale, it wasn't really a fight between him and Optimus. He kind of mopped the floor with him.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, the more time Prime really got a chance to, like, not even just, like, throw hands with Megatron. I'm talking, like, over time throwing hands with most opponents, especially when he can, like, sit here and actually box with them. He can more than hold his own, and he's definitely proven he can throw bots that are somewhat bigger than him. He's proven it. We've seen it on screen.
Oh yeah.
But it's so difficult to give it to Animated Prime because, like I said, Lio Convoy threw hands with a fucking combiner.
And we never really got the chance to really see full-fledged combiners in animated.
Huh?
Yeah,
we never got
really
the chance
saw.
to see combiners in animated, so it's hard to compare.
Exactly. And but you see why I would automatically say, okay, well, if we're going to try to match those feats, the closest thing he's gotten to fighting a combiner was taking on Megatron. That is absolutely the closest he's come. Like, again, most of the time he went up against Megatron, Megatron beat his sorry ass. He's
And
still
again, we
through
are
it.
giving him the Magnus Hammer and the Jetpack, which is what he used to help him defeat Megatron.
Exactly. So at that point, we're also kind of giving him a little bit more of an edge. So when it comes to strength, unfortunately, I don't really have the actual statistic. Thank you, false. Like, this is exactly what I was saying. Animated Megatron may as well be a combiner with how insane he is. Thank you. So ultimately, the point I'm getting at is when it comes to the strength feat, as much as I do not want to tie them out per se, it genuinely is the only fair way to do it. And that feels like that. Oh my God. Like, I'm trying not to disrespect Animated Prime, but at the same time, my boy, Lyle Convoy through hands of a combiner. You're not touching him in base form. Like, you're not doing it. I'm sorry.
Also, keep in mind too, False, that like the Autobots in animated were tiny compared to the Decepticons.
Which only made it even worse.
So like Lio Convoy being smaller, I want to say they'd probably be closer to the same size. At least roughly close to the same size.
Roughly. We'll say roughly around about the same size. We'll go with
I mean,
that.
when they made action figures of them, both of them were portrayed as Voyagers through the Legacy toy line.
You know what? Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute.
Starts playing the Jeopardy music.
Lio Convoy is 3 meters, almost 10 feet tall.
What's up? You're excused.
Thank you.
Hi, excused, I'm Ben.
No names on the airwaves.
Hi,
If your name,
Sonic.
if your name's Ben, do you happen to have any nephews?
Oh, you motherfucker!
Make sure they don't ever become Spider-Man.
No, I don't, because it's been pretty grim lately and not super fantastic for a while.
I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all.
Okay, so animated height chart shows Prime stands at about 22 feet. And according to the wiki, Lio Convoy is about 3 meters, which is roughly like almost 10 feet tall.
Almost 10 feet tall. Let me ask my Echo device this. Hang on, just in case anybody else has one. I don't want to activate yours.
Three meters is about 9 feet 10 inches.
Yeah, so he's about 10 feet tall if you round it up.
Yeah.
But I
So,
mean,
yeah,
even in this case, Lio Convoy being half of the height of animated Optimus still isn't much of an issue, especially
Because
if he
he
beats
took
him
on combiners.
especially if Lio Convoy beats him in speed. That's not going to matter that much.
So with that stated, as much as I didn't want to just outright tie out strength, I'm gonna have to. Once we really sat down and really debated it. Speed, there is no debating it. Lio Convoy is taking it. And upon looking at it a little bit further, unfortunately, as much as I want to give armor and weapons right over to animated, Lyle Convoy's arsenal is simply just large. It's simply just larger. He's
So
got
should we
way more
even that
actual
out as
at
well?
his disposal, huh?
Should we even that out as well with the armament and like weapons?
Yeah, I feel like for this one we'll tie him out here as well. So while Lyle Convoy has a lot more offensive weaponry, Animated Optimus has a lot more defensive measures. So, for all intents and purposes, the two of them do have something. So, I am feeling a little bit better about tying them both out there. But if there's one area that I'm going to specify, just because one takes it here does not mean they win automatically. Now we talk battle intelligence.
Oh boy.
Optimus had to learn combat and battle as time went on. As he was supposed to become a prime in the line of like battle, but then
he was supposed to be a high ranking officer in
he was supposed to be a battle commander, but got relegated to a maintenance spot.
Yeah, you got kicked out of...
because Animated Sentinel Prime is a fucking egomaniacal.
Screw Sentinel, no one Sentinel after what he did.
Again, Prime basically, Optimus was basically, part of the, he has the qualifications to be part of the High Guard.
He just wasn't allowed to, and does it ever say how long he spent as a maintenance bot working on the space bridges?
I'm sure they did. I just can't remember what it was because they had it in cycles.
Can't remember.
I don't remember off the top of my head how long he had spent working on space bridges.
I don't remember either.
It had to have been a long time, though.
So,
but in terms of like actual combat experience, that's gonna have to go to Lyo Convoy.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah,
but also,
but at the same time, battle intelligence is not strictly just.
It's not just experience.
Hands.
Like on the fly adaptability.
It's how well you can use your environment to your advantage. It's how well you know your own weaponry. It's how well you know your own powers and abilities. Like,
yeah, because I was going to say part of the battle intelligence. Yeah, I was going to say part of the battle intelligence for Lyo Convoy's case is that, again, he is from the Beast Wars era. Everyone in Beast, all the greatest leaders in Beast Wars are masters of using the environment to their advantage.
And while that is a very fair and valid point, we cannot necessarily say Animated Optimus is not capable of using his environment to his advantage either.
He's had to get creative.
I'm just saying we literally are making a fight between. Guys. Sorry, I was almost done with my point.
Okay.
We literally are. We're basically making a fight. In terms of battle intelligence between, someone who's more like a proper, well-trained soldier and someone who is just a very beastly, almost like barbaric kind of fighter in a way.
All right, so when it comes to battle intelligence, I'd like to state that that Animated Optimus Prime has helped with Earth law enforcement capturing criminals. Like, I want to say it was like, okay, the episode Home is Where the Spark Is. I think it was the beginning of that episode, unless I'm mistaken, where he helped trick the Angry Archer with, getting him captured. Like, when the Angry Archer thought that he had gotten away from the cops because he hitched a ride on a fire engine, that fire engine just happened to be Optimus Prime. It's all part of a plan that he had worked out with law enforcement, with local law enforcement, to help get him captured. And anyone else remember the episode Nanosec? I want to I'm trying to remember what the strategy was with helping capture him. I know that wearing the suit made him age faster,
The whole idea on how to beat him in nanosec, that was actually something that Bumblebee came up with.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
that was more of a Bumblebee feat that he kind of accomplished.
Okay, yeah, I was like trying to remember like who came up with the plan, but yeah, Animated Prime has like he's got some really good strategies. He has helped human and Cybertronian allies apprehend criminals.
He is a very, very smart and on-the-fly type of thinker. That is something we will not deny. Animated Prime has proven multitude of times that he is beyond intelligent. But when it comes to the heat of battle, that's where a lot of his inexperience does come out to play. Because let's face it, when Megatron busted into their shuttle, that motherfucker did not have his fusion cannon on him, ready to just waste their ass. And he barely knew what the fuck he was doing. Like, granted, he was handling himself a lot better than, say, I don't know, Prowl, Bumblebee, and Bulkhead. But Ratchet, being the old war veteran, was making Prime look like an imbecile. And it's only because, again, Optimus was mainly watching the old stories and wanting to know what those days were like because it fascinated him. And the one person who was there literally looks at him and goes, "Would you leave it the fuck alone?"
Also, in terms of battle intelligence with Animated Optimus, now again, granted, it wasn't technically real, but it still didn't matter that when they were quote unquote turned into humans, Prime still tried to make the effort to put up a fight, even as a human, up against Decepticons.
That's iron willpower.
And again, he did manage to make a difference until until up to the point when they found out that it wasn't real. But like up to that point, they did make a pretty feasible, believable difference in between them being humans and going up against big Decepticons.
Yeah, and I won't deny that. So ultimately, when it comes to battle intelligence, here's what I am going to do. When it comes to actual heat of battle, we lean towards Lion because he's a soldier. He's a commander. He's the first on the field. He's the last to leave. When it comes to overall combat, he is bar none the better of the two. But when it comes to more creative solutions, Animated pulls ahead.
I think battle intelligence at this point will fall onto where they're fighting.
When you hear the story that I have in mind, which trust me, this is gonna blow y'all's minds. I cannot wait to do this.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
I think it just depends on the environment.
So this is a fight that's gonna take place in multiple different environments.
Interesting.
Where all of the skills are gonna come into play. So with that said, when it comes to battle intelligence, Balls, get mad at me if you want. I don't care. Battle intelligence is a tie. But now we move on to final verdict. And for final verdict, again, everybody who knows how this works knows exactly how this works. For those who don't, quick explanation. Final verdict, I'm going to go from the bottom of the cast, and we're going to lead all the way up to me, where I am going to tell the story on who I think is going to be crowned the winner of this scrap battle. So obviously, starting with Acer and letting him speak his piece. Acer, final verdict. Who are you giving the gold medal to?
I'm gonna have to give it to Lio Convoy on this one. From what I've read on the wiki about Lio Convoy, and then what I know about Animated Optimus, it'll go to Lio Convoy.
Okay. Ink, final verdict. Who's winning?
As much as I love animated Prime, I think given all the feats that I have seen so far, Lyle Convoy takes it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, sorry. Did you have more to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thanks.
Lio Convoy.
No reasoning. You're just staking, and that's it.
Well, like, it's just one big glaring elephant in the room is the fact that it's just the difference between his Matrix and Animated's Matrix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mostly for that reasoning.
So bees.
God, I'm as much as I want to root for the underdog, Animated Prime. I honestly, let's face it, Lyle Convoy. It's like, don't worry, Animated Prime. I have the utmost confidence in you. Put it on, Lyle Convoy.
Okay. So basically everything is stacked against Animated Prime. I'm so sorry, buddy. David K, I'm sorry. Oh man. All right. Final verdict. Scrap battle. Lyle Convoy versus Animated Optimus Prime. In the heat of battle on Cybertron, in the very, very far future, Lyle Convoy and Big Convoy are both taking on a Unicron-empowered Galvatron and a Magmatron. They're fighting as hard as they can. Well, Big Convoy activates his Matrix cannon, and he fires. But when he fires, for this story, he missed, and he hit a distant glowing crater. When this crater was hit, it opened a portal to keep everyone else from falling in. Fall feet. To keep everyone else from falling in. Lyle Convoy decided, Big Convoy, you're going to stay here. You're going to finish this fight. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to make sure nothing comes through to interfere with your battle. I know what you are capable of. I have the utmost faith in you. Big Convoy simply looks at him and goes, "Bet." So Lyle Convoy jumps through the portal, and then it just shrinks. "50 years later, on Earth, the Autobots have risen from their slumber. Optimus Prime is doing everything in his power to help the other humans out. But he looks up in the sky and sees a portal opening up, finds this strange, goes to calm his team for backup. But something's jamming his communications. He has no idea what's going on. Until all of a sudden, through this portal, flies out a glowing white lion. And when it flies out, it lands on a rooftop. Animated Optimus Prime, out of sheer concern for this poor creature, decides to make his way to the rooftop to help him. But when he gets up there, he notices this is no mere creature. This is another Cybertronian, and he has no idea if this guy is friend or foe. Lyle Convoy, transforms into robot mode. Where am I? Animated Optimus Prime activates grapplers, and he simply asks him in the Elite Guard fashion, state your name, your rank, and your function. Obviously, Lyle Conway was kind of taking this a little on the personal side, because when he looks, he sees it's just a regular Autobot symbol. Lyle Convoy knows damn well, if this dude was really Elite Guard, he'd have that symbol on him. But clearly, clear as day, he does not. So he's sitting there like, okay, who do you think you are? Because I know damn well you are not an Elite Guard officer. Ron takes this a little personally, not gonna lie, because that's still kind of a sore subject for him. Fuck you, Sentinel. Instead, Optimus starts trying to reason with him. Simply just asks him, look, I saw you fly through that portal. I don't know what's going on with you. All I'm going to ask of you is to come with me. Obviously, Lyle Convoy has no idea whether or not he can trust any of this. Lyle Convoy simply tilts his head back. The tail on his left shoulder pad starts extending out, and he says, I think I'm good. Whips it right at Prime's ankle, yanks on it to trip him up, turns around, and he takes the fuck off. He starts leaping from building to building, rooftop to rooftop, showing he's incredibly fast. But clearly enough, Animated Optimus Prime has heard of Spider-Man. Because he is utilizing his grapplers to swing across the city to keep up with him. Bearing in mind, Lyle Convoy really does not know how to fight in a city setting. At least not current. So he is doing everything in his power just to catch up with this guy. When he finally does, he shoots that cement paste at him, and it catches him. It catches Lyle Convoy and forces him to stop running. So at this point, Animated Optimus Prime swings around and tackles him straight through the roof. And they are like, but when he hits him with so much force because he's moving so fast, and let's face it, he's bigger than him. When he smacks into him with enough force, he smacks into him with enough force to where he just starts taking him through buildings. Lyle Convoy's freaking the fuck out, like, have you lost your mind? So at this point, now Lyle Convoy has to put his hands on him. And this is where his physical strength really starts to come into play. So while Animated Optimus has him like this, Lyle Convoy reaches around, grabs his arms, and pries him off of it. Kicks off. Don't actually hit the camera, BC. So kicks off and flies through a window. Prime barely grapples onto something to swing himself back to the ground. Starts looking around to see wondering where the hell did he go? So he starts kind of shifting through his vision to see if he can pinpoint where he's at. By the time he finally figured it out, Lyle Convoy not only got to the very bottom, but he was already right underneath Animated Prime. He kicks through the ground to kick him square in the head, then flips himself back around and basically does a rider kick straight into Prime's chest, putting the big guy on his ass. Backflips off, holds his arms out, and his arm blasters flip out. Hits him with the, I'm only going to warn you this one time. Do not follow me. Retract. Turns to walk away. But Prime can't take any chances with him now. Look at the amount of destruction that's already gone down. He has to bring him in. So he gets up and he grapples onto him. But this time, when he grapples onto him, he yanks with enough force to actually pull Lyle Convoy by his ankle straight to him. And then he pulls out the axe and uses the flat end of it. And he batter up swings, smacks the shit out of Lyle Convoy. Lyle Convoy flies through the air. Animated Prime hit him with some force. Like, he did not see that coming at all. And he's dazed in the air, like, what the fuck just happened? By the time he finally does hit the ground, Prime's already running up, leaps up, and grabs onto him while he's on the ground to try and pull him up over his shoulder. At this point, Lyle Convoy gets him into a UFC-style leg grab and slams his head into the ground. I'm warning you, you don't want this fight. Animated Prime. Funny. I was about to tell you the same thing. Shoots water from his little gauntlet thing right into Lyle Convoy's optics. Animated Optimus gets up, grabs onto him by the ankles yet again, spins and throws him. But Lyle Convoy's starting to notice if he's literally trying not to throw me at buildings now. If I'm really going to take this fight seriously, I gotta take this fight somewhere where I hold the advantage. So as soon as he hits the ground, from that one smack where he popped back up, Ichi turns into lion mode and starts beelining it straight to, you guessed it, a forest preserve. Animated Prime obviously gets right to him. He starts looking around. He's trying to find him, and he can't. And he's thinking, he literally turned into a white lion. How can I not see him? Well, little did Animated Prime know, this kitty's claws can do a lot more than just scratch somebody up. Because Lyle Convoy is literally watching him from the treetops. Lyle Convoy, all right. Now, let's play. Leaps from the treetop and takes Animated Prime down. Animated Prime rolls back to his feet, but now Lyle Convoy, showing he's a lot faster, gets right back into his face, and he hits him with the meanest right hook Animated Prime has ever seen. Animated Prime hits the ground, taps his lip, and sees a little bit of energon. I've scrapped with Sentinel so many times that he's never once made me weak. Animated Prime gets back up, pulls that axe back out, and he's ready to swing it at him because he activates the thruster and he bursts forward and he flashes down. We hear the sound of blades clashing. Cameras at their feet, hands up. The lion claws came out. I won't lie, kid. You've got some skills with that axe. But let me show you how outclassed you really are. Pushes him off, kicks him, and then just starts slashing at him. Prime definitely showing he's got some fight in him. He's actually doing pretty well at blocking a bunch of these claw swipes. That's not exactly easy to do with an opponent that is significantly smaller than you, but is also significantly stronger than you. So they're sitting there, they're duking it out. They're having, admittedly, in their own way, they're having fun with this, whether they want to kind of admit it or not. So finally, when the two of these opponents are going at each other, Prime finally manages to deflect one of the claws to get it stuck into a tree. At this point, he uses the handle of the axe to bonk Wild Convoy on the head, and then grabs a hold of him, and he, with brute force, yanks on him to get him out of that tree and throw him across the field, only to attempt to grapple him and slam him back down, effectively utilizing his own gear and weaponry in a forest environment. But when he shot that grappler, not only did Lyle Convoy catch that bitch, but when he landed, let's face it, Prime is having PTSD now. Because when Lyle Convoy had that bitch in his hand, he twirled it around his arm, and she starts twirling him into fucking freezing shit. Spins, 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 and then throws him as hard as he can. Prime flies through the air, lands in the water. Wild Convoy starts running up. And he starts trying to look around like, where the fuck did he go? Prime, believably enough, he actually does have a little bit more experience fighting in the water. Because when he's under the water, he turned into his truck mode, completely refilled all of his water tanks, and shot himself back out of the water and slammed onto Lyle Convoy. Transforms back into robot mode, and with all of that water that he stored up in him, he put it into his cement stuff, that sticky stuff. And he just goes to town on Lyle Convoy with it. Lyle Convoy, at this point, you can tell he's getting pissed. Because, well, yeah, he will admit, this guy's pretty impressive. Now it's getting to a point where he's using tactics that he simply just cannot agree with, and it's pissing him off. All right, bet. You want to play this fucking game, kid? All right. Let me show you what the full power of an Energon Matrix can do. His chest pops open. The Energon Matrix in Lyle Convoy's chest starts glowing. And he taps into, you guessed it, his flash form. He bursts out of the sticky stuff. Animated Prime is watching this and he's like, whoa, what just happened to him? And before he could even react, Lyle Convoy hits him with so much force that it sends him flying through the city. He conveniently lands in Autobot HQ. It's gonna, even with the flash form, it's gonna take Lyle Convoy a little bit to get to him. But when he does, He was not prepared for what he was about to witness. He gets there. Flash Lyle Convoy, hey shit! Back in a robot mode. Where did you go? Here's the sound of jet thrusters. And with both the axe and the Magnus hammer in both his hands, he comes charging full blast right at Lyle Convoy. And when he, like, at this point, Animated Prime has already taken this as an opportunity to tell Ratchet, hold out a massive distress call and tell everybody to evacuate as quickly as they can. Whatever this dude is, he is powerful, and I am getting my ass kicked. I need the jet stuff. I need everything we got here if I'm going to be able to beat him. So now, at this point, let's face it, they now have free reign to continue the fight in the city. Lyle Convoy deploys a claw and he punches. Animated Prime blocks with the axe, but then cranks him with the hammer. And even though you could tell he hit him with enough force with that Magnus hammer to do some damage, in this flash form, man, Lyle Convoy is just taking it. So at this point, Animated Prime is hitting him with every possible swing he's got, and he's putting his all into this. But what this poor sap doesn't seem to understand, quite simply, is this. Flash Lyle Convoy has him beat in almost every category. So finally, when Flash Lyle Convoy has decided, I'm done playing with you, when Prime swings down with the axe, Lyle Convoy catches it by the blade and then crushes it in his bare hands. In this moment, I knew, oh, this is not going to end well. Flash Lyle Convoy cocks back, ready to just pile drive him into the ground. But as a last-ditch effort, Animated Prime slams down with the hammer. Lyle Convoy catches it, and he goes, did you really think the same move was going to work? Prime simply looks at him, and under the faceplate, he just smirks. The sound of the thunderstorm starts surrounding them. Did it suddenly just start raining? Gets hit with the meanest fucking lightning bolt. And this shockingly actually does some damage.
Shockingly, I see what you did there.
Like, Flash Lyle Convoy starts stumbling back like, what the fuck was that? And now all of a sudden, that hammer is supercharged. He cocks that bitch back and he hits Flash Lyle Convoy with all the force he has. Flash Lyle Convoy, he doesn't quite fly, but when he gets hit with it, he gets some distance skidding back. And he's like, okay, all right. So you did find something that's going to help you even the playing field. All right. Let's fucking go. So Animated Prime is swinging and swinging with this hammer, sorry. And Flash Lyle Convoy very quickly picked up on the fact that this hammer is lethal. So he's trying everything he can to just dodge, move, and bob out of the way. He's waiting for that perfect opportunity to just get that one shot in that he needs. Because despite popular belief and what everybody is thinking at this point, Lyle Convoy is genuinely not trying to kill this guy. He's just trying to get him to stop fighting him so that he can actually, like, talk with him and be like, okay, you need to explain to me what the hell is going on. So finally, he sees that one moment where Prime brings that hammer out to slam it down. And in this moment, he hits him with the meanest right jab straight to the gut he's ever seen. Where right when he hit him, he drops that hammer. And basically at that point, that was his best defense against Flash Lyle Convoy. So now Flash Lyle Convoy is beating the dog shit out of Animated Prime. He's hitting him with body shots, face shots, another face shot, uppercut, kicks him in the stomach, slams him down, punches him in the face while he's in the ground, picks him up, slams him back down. He's just going nuts on him at this point. And then finally, when he gets on top, he deploys that claw. And even though he has him at his mercy, he retracts that claw and just clocks him one more time, and he's out. Lyle Convoy wins.
Somewhere off in the distance, we hear a Woody whining and complaining.
I can hear him now.
Oh no.
Anyway, so here is why I ultimately said Lyle Convoy would win this fight. Where it ultimately came down, genuinely, is in battle intelligence and his arsenal. He had a much bigger arsenal, and he had a much better understanding on how to use it. And on top of that, the battle intelligence would allow him to utilize his environment. It would allow him to use his environment to his advantage and really allow him to deal way more damage during this fight. Because if you notice, with each and every encounter these two had, Lyle Convoy dealt way more damage. So when Lyle Convoy genuinely was able to put his hands on Prime, he made sure he felt it because he wasn't taking any chances this entire fight. Can we do an after credit scene with Big Convoy and Ratchet? Not Ratchet, but definitely Big Convoy. Although Animated Ratchet is in the docket for future Scrap Battle. Oh, okay, so this is my first Scrap Battle, but how the fuck did you make up such a great story off top of your dome? That's insane, dude.
On top of your dome, dude.
Top of my head.
I know, and I was like, did you just call you bald? You're not even bald. Usually when someone refers to someone's head as a dome, it's usually a bald joke.
So that was...
Like,
KS. So for those who actually don't know, I'm a story writer. I naturally know how to tell a story. I mean, you can even ask Hornet during the Bumblebee Battle Royale episode we did. He was losing his mind at the fact that I was able to come up with the entire scenario with zero rehearsal and just hit him with it on the fly.
That's impressive.
So yeah, every single time you see any of these Scrap Battle episodes, if you think I pre-planned those stories, I promise you I don't. I come up with them on the fly. Please link these scripts or whatever it may be. I love both of them, so I'm headcanoning them, having a chill chat while watching Optimus and Lyle beating each other. fucking fun. please link these scripts or whatever it may be. I must hear/read them. So, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to bring something up as a little bit of an update on some of the story stuff I've done. For those who are familiar with the fact that I was doing a Transformer series called Transformers, yeah, I may or may not have, how do I put this? I may or may not. How do I put this? I for sure put Evolutions on ice, which means I'm not Transformers Evolutions. It's a series I'm writing. And it's a series that unfortunately I put it on ice because, well, as much as I do love Transformers, I have another series that I've been cooking up and working on that honestly, when I got a really, really good writing team, that was the stuff we wanted to work on more. We really didn't like at first we really wanted to do Evolutions, but just as time went on and the more things got complicated, we just started to realize Evolutions as a whole really isn't going to get the same tender loving care that everything else is going to get. So I made the executive decision to put that one on ice and then work on something else. Because, and with that said, I have so many different stories that I have been able to tell just with my own thing. So just either way, with all that said, here's that after credit scene that I promised folks. So Big Convoy was taking on that Unicron powered Galvatron, and so he's taking on, thank you, Cass. So he's taking on these two Predacons on his own. Fires a blast at Magmatron. Fires another blast at Galvatron. Magmatron comes at him with all three of his different beast modes. All Big Convoy does is flip out those little Tonfas, and he basically just starts giving these three dinos the work. At this point, you got to bear in mind, he's only shot 2 blasts. Now he's strictly now just throwing hands. He's sitting there like, I ain't wasting my ammo on any of these fools. So when Magmatron finally reforms it back into his robot mode and slashes down with his sword, Big Convoy, being the absolute Chad that he is, punches him full force in the stomach, causing him to heel over, turns, grabs onto his head, and freaking slams him down, knocking him clean the fuck out. Galvatron, with the Unicron essence in him, starts laughing, going, "You really think that's the only portal?" Snaps his fingers, and another one of those portals opens up right behind him. But it's not quite the universe you're thinking Big Convoy is going to go to. Big Convoy turns around, and he's taken aback, which unfortunately means he's caught off guard. What in the hell? Gets kicked into that portal. And when, as he's kicked, he turns around, sees Galvatron was the one that kicked him, and all Big Convoy does is, "Oh, really? Classy, bitch!" Falls through the portal. Big Convoy slams down. Head's ringing. Starts getting up. Cracks his neck. We hear a very familiar kind of weapon transformation noise happening right behind him. he's hearing this, and when he turns around, he sees he is about to tussle with Prime Bulkhead. And then it cuts right there. So yes, the next fight, as you have seen right here, right off the top of my head, next fight is Big Convoy versus Prime Bulkhead. So yeah, sorry, False. Animated Ratchet's not getting his due yet. Although I might do a Scrapyard episode where it's strictly just scrap battles the whole time. We'll see. We'll
That'd
see.
be fun.
So yeah, anyways, Lyle Convoy wins. Lyle Convoy for sure wins. And other than KS, how did everybody else feel? Especially, I want to hear Acer. How did you feel coming into this your first time, just hearing the story?
That was honestly like the way you would crafted it as you went was like really impressive. Because it starts in the city and then it doesn't just like magically cut to a forest. You made it make sense for like why they have to leave the city to go elsewhere, and Lyle Convoy took that and used it to his advantage. And then Animated Prime wanted to bring him back to the city to get it back under his control, but it unfortunately did not go that way. That was really cool.
And in case you couldn't already tell, there is one aspect of this I did plan. And I'm just going to be completely real with you guys on this one. The aspect of this I planned was the big convoy bit. Hey, let me put it to y'all this way. Scrap Battle is about to get big. Absolute cinema, BC. Thank you, KS. I appreciate you.
We need to get some animators on this.
See, that's what everyone is saying. Speaking of, hey, Ink, you ever gonna do that Armada Prime versus Star Saber thing?
Yes, just not now.
Sadness, I want to see what you were gonna do.
Unfortunately, I'm out of time. I have other stuff to go do, and my head's starting to kill me. Allergies are so terrible.
Go ahead and you take off. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was not. I expected more chaotic, but it was pretty tame from what I had expected.
Oh no, you're literally leaving right when it starts to get chaotic.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Another time, as much as I would love to stay. My head's actually starting to get to me.
Hey, Bees.
So,
Beepo?
Never mind.
I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, go ahead and do what you gotta do, Acer.
Till all are one, gents.
Till all are one, bud.
Till all are one.
I think it'd be kind of funny if we did it with toys like the old early 2000s. I mean, I'd be down to see a stop motion. Speaking of, hey, who wants to get Eritron on some of this? Who wants to get Eritron on some of this? I'm down. You see, okay, I'm going to highlight this one real quick. What is the opinion you are seeking of me, my boy? So anyways, yeah, Ink, as far as your first Scrapyard is concerned, how are you feeling?
Great. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. If JJ was on here, like I've noticed that like in previous episodes, you would in the live chat would say gorilla belly button just to tease him. So I was like, if JJ were to be here, would he say that to him?
I mean, he's done it before. When imagining Big Convoy in English, I've always imagined him with a Russian accent. Your thoughts? Okay, so I'm going to be real with you when I say I don't envision him with a Russian accent. I've heard people say German. I don't necessarily vibe with that one either. But you want to know what I do vibe with? When it comes specifically to Big Convoy, and I cannot believe I'm actually about to say this, I see him with a British accent. Like, Big Convoy utilizing a British accent, I don't know why. That slaps to me. Because you wouldn't think that somebody like him would sound so sophisticated, yet he does. But his whole entire persona does not scream British.
Honestly, I've always imagined him to be more like, "Hey man, my name is Big Convoy. I'm kind of like the leader in here.
Oh my god.
I'm here going to lead the Maximals, and yeah, we're going to have a jolly old time."
It's like he has a death wish.
I'm going to turn into a mammoth now. Pretty big, pretty hairy. Now I'm going to go fight that big monster guy who's made up of 3 dinosaurs. Pretty nightmarish stuff, I'd say.
I try so hard to be nice.
So do I.
tried so hard and got so far,
I try so hard, and I just get beaten up for it.
and in the end, it doesn't even matter.
In the end,
I'm not going to ban Bricks because of that. I mean, come on. Well, let's be real. With how much you want to give him crap for doing that to Big Convoy, I did so much worse to Jinrai.
Anyway, check out what I did for one of the many matrix of leaderships that I have from like one of my Galvatron figures that I have. I got the chain that came with the Galvatron upgrade kit. Put it on this matrix, and unfortunately, it just faces downwards. But I was like, you know what? Let's get some sticky tack. Just to reference the ending of season 3. Guys? Okay, it's not me. Okay, so BC.
Sorry, I'm kind of distracted right now. I'm like multitasking.
Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Like I saw BC screen up. I was like, guys, what's going on? Because like there was so much silence. I thought it was on my end. Oh no, what did you do?
Put him down. He's mine.
Stabby, stab.
Pink? Pink? Buddy? Buddy old pal?
Yep, what's up?
What the fuck did you post in the server?
They don't have to know.
Too late. I already know.
No.
So how do you want your punishment? Right hand? Left hand?
Oh, I know one.
Both.
How about neither?
What do you mean, how about neither?
BC, I have another idea. How about we ask you which one hurts more?
Don't you dare. No. Anyways, what you did to Jinrai Font. Foss never going to forgive me for that. So, I'm going to go. So, let's go ahead and actually think of the next topic.
Can we talk about our stance on knockoffs?
No, that's going to be for the future. I'm talking like what the next episode's topic is going to be, because I want to take some time to really sit down and kind of let the knockoff one cook. So with that said, how about the next episode of Scrapyard, we rank almost every single Transformers combiner.
Ooh.
How about we finish ranking the Megazords?
How about you shut up?
Come on, I'm being serious. We ranked every Megazord up until SPD. So I've always wondered, are we going to do the rest?
Bees, I think you and I both know why we can never do it again now.
Why?
It's your fault. Why?
Why? It's not like the Lost Galaxy Megazords in the ranking again. We're literally picking up at Mystic Force and seeing how far we can go, or how far you would want to go with it.
We'd have ended up ending at Mystic Force.
Oh, it was Mystic Force we ended at? Okay, so Operation Overdrive. We can pick up from there.
No.
Then...
I'm saying we would have ended at Mystic Force and then never bothered continuing.
Why is that?
Because Mystic Force genuinely is when Power Rangers was still somewhat good. It's when we got to Operation Overdrive. That's when we really kind of got.
You could say it went a little overdrive.
I mean, honestly, Operation Overdrive is not as bad as I personally was expecting. I was expecting like mega fail levels of bad, but honestly, it was a lot more watchable in comparison. Was it perfect? No, but at the same time, it was watchable.
Lyle Kaiser S tier. That's all I know. I mean, he's speaking facts. He's speaking facts.
Jungle Fury wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. RPM was good until Gold and Silver showed up. Then it felt like watching Nick Jr. My thoughts exactly. And then, like, honestly, we don't, like, I feel like we shouldn't even have to have watched the shows to rank the Megazords. If we're, like, basing it purely on what little we may know, as well as the going by the aesthetics.
So here's how I feel. If we're gonna do this, then we are going to start from the beginning again. And this time, we're not gonna we're gonna do figure appreciation of the week, but we're literally just kind of gonna have it be the entirety of the topic is us just ranking the Megazords, go right into scrap battle, and then go right into the after party.
I'm going to say this now. If this ever comes to fruition, someone's going to bring up the belly button Megazord, and it won't be me. It won't be me.
Right, buddy, right.
You've brought it up before, twice at least.
Yeah, because
multiple
times. Someone kept wanting to bring up the corpse figures. You fuck with me, I fuck with you.
Like, I just remember I've been rewatching a lot of previous episodes, and you just like pulled JJ up right next to you and just said gorilla belly button. Just like so casually. Yet it still broke him.
Yeah, because it's still
Whereas for me, I'm just like gorilla belly button.
I could genuinely be a dick right now.
Gorillas. Belly button.
100 men versus gorilla.
I was like, what?
Belly button.
You're all lucky I can't have my Rob Chaku right now.
Anyway, like I said, I'm calling it now. I'm not going to be the one who brings up the gorilla belly button Megazord. It'll be someone else.
Okay, cool.
God, poor JJ. That episode, that episode, we could not stop making him laugh about it. Anyway,
All right, I'm gonna get going.
Man, you go ahead, and I think we're just gonna go. I think we're just gonna go ahead and get going too.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I was
It's been
gonna
a fun
say, like,
film.
I was gonna show this off.
Oh yeah,
cool.
the Gattax Vector.
Yep, the CSM Gattack Zector knockoff. Oh, that's
Hell
not-
yeah.
Doesn't do anything unless it's on the belt. What's interesting? You done now?
Alrighty, till all are one.
Okay, later. Like what I find so amusing is that the voice clips, for the voice clips, you know, the henshin and like what this guy was saying on this. It's like so. If I don't watch one Power Ranger show, I'd probably be watching Japanese. I would at that point. I'd recommend the Super Sentai series.
That's basically what he's talking about. So if you're gonna, if we're gonna recommend a Sentai series to you, I'm gonna want to recommend one that's actually really fucking good, despite what everybody else would say. So for me, obviously, if you want to know the origins of where Power Rangers came from, you're gonna want to watch.
Kyoryu Sentai G Ranger.
Yeah, Kyoryu Sentai G Ranger.
You can find it. You can watch it on Tubi.
Kyoryu Sentai G Ranger, or if you really want to, you can watch Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger.
Yeah, I've like the Sentai series that I've watched and completed. It's honestly only two. I've only watched and completed G Ranger and Die Ranger. I keep forgetting to finish Kaku Ranger. I need to finish Ghost Ranger and Gokaiger. Oh, and then like what I was wanting to show earlier, how crystal clear the voice clip buttons were, and then just the overall potato qualityness of the music, background music button. It literally sounds like. I can draw G1 hook with.
Oh.
No, even better. Stabby, 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 stab, 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 stab. Okay, hit him again. Keep hitting him more. Hit him more.
Ow. 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 Uh-oh.
So anyway, the music, the background music sound quality on this sounds like a if you were to make a voice recording or something on a cell phone from like 2008. It is that I'm just like, I know this is a knockoff. I understand that. I knew what I was getting when I made the purchase. But why are the voice clips so crystal clear? But the background music, it's like it's not like it's coming out of a very cheap speaker. I heard something fall. Like, oh shit! I just realized I left Venom in the kitchen and he fell over. But anyway. Oh shit. What was that?
So, as far as the next topic is concerned, I think I'm just going to do this. And this is something I'm going to just keep doing until we actually come up with stuff. There, that's the next topic, a free-for-all.
Woohoo!
Sweet.
I just hope that I can take part in it. Just depending on what
Same.
day I'm going to be on, if I'm going to be off on that day.
As much as Ultraman currently has me by the balls, I want to watch one Sentai and one Kamen Rider show to just have them under my belt. So, Sentai-wise, that's a bit more of a loaded question. However, if you want good, right? If you want really good writer shows, honestly,
Sorry.
if you're gonna watch anything Kamen Rider related, might I point you in the direction of Kamen Rider Gain? Because Kamen Rider Gain is one of those shows where its theme is fucking ridiculous. And I mean, it's stupid. It's such a stupid aesthetic. It's such a stupid gimmick. But the show and the music, oh my god. So yeah, when it comes to Kamen Rider, bar none, go with Gain. That's like my easy go-to, where it is just such a fantastic show. And again, you wouldn't think that because of the aesthetics. Another good Rider show, definitely Wizard. I would also want to say Kamen Rider Double. For anything prior to that, obviously I'm going to want to recommend my personal boy, Kabuto. Spies is really good. I can give you so many more, actually good Rider shows in comparison to, say, Sentais. I cannot give you nearly as many good Sentais. Mainly because I have not seen every Sentai adaptation of Power Rangers yet. Now, I've seen a bit of Ryu Soldier, and that's Dino Fury here in the States. I've seen a bit of it. It's okay. It's nothing amazing, but it's pretty good. It depends on that one's more for a specific audience. There's so many different things that I wish I could remember right off the top of my head, because I know there's so many good Sentais out there that just don't hit the same. Okay, with how much I praise, Sentai, or with how much I praise Mystic Force on its own, if you really, really want to see that general story being told at its maximum capacity, go watch Magi Ranger. Magi Ranger will blow your fucking mind.
What I find I didn't really know what to expect or have high expectations for Mystic Force, but when I watched it, I had fun. It was hilarious, and I'm looking at you, Phineas.
I've never been a big dinosaur guy, so that one from the outset doesn't seem super appealing. Okay, so if he's not really big on dinosaurs, see, and that's what you're gonna have to come back to me at some point for this. Because I'm trying so hard to recommend stuff to you, but the ones I immediately want to go for are literally aesthetics you're not gonna want. You want mecha. Then okay. How about Deca Ranger? Here in the States, SPD. In America, SPD, Space Patrol Delta. In Japan, Space Police, Deca Ranger. I think I got that right. I think I did.
Damn, you sure belch a lot. Okay, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but yeah, this is one of those buckles that you can adjust. But look, it's not getting tight, like it's not supposed to stay tight like it's supposed to. Am I doing something wrong, or is this just the fact that it's a knockoff?
It might just be due to the fact that it's a knockoff.
That is aggravating because while I am still able to wear this, at the same time the belt droops forward because of its own weight. Like if it's tighter, it'll stay put.
Then yeah, false. Go with SPD. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been fun.
I
But
had a great
all good things must come to an end.
All right. So with that said, will Inktastic ever return? Will BC ever go on a diet? Will Bees
Hey,
ever
fuck up. No. Fuck you. No. Fuck you.
Will Bees ever be his diet buddy? Find out next time on Scrapyard episode 130.
Free for all.
Beep boop.
boop.
And next scrap battle for those who are tuning in late or already forgot, it is Big Convoy versus Prime Bulkhead. And with that said, everybody, I've been BC.
I've been Flaming Bees.
I'm fantastic.
And we will catch you guys.
Peace.
Bye.